Good afternoon, good evening, hello everybody. How are we all doing? It is Monday, which means it's time for some me time. Everyone's been chatting away already. Good afternoon, Colonel, Laura, Kataro, the tattooed zoologist, Dutch Army Painter, hello from the Netherlands. Hello from the UK. The Mini Creative, good evening, good afternoon. Baradon283, Kataro again, hello. Joshua Spicer, thank you for motivating me to get my first 2,000 points of Painted Thousand Suns done. That is sick. What are your thoughts on the new AOS teaser? It's very exciting. Who knows what it could mean? No one knows. That's what's so good about Age of Sigmar. It's impossible to figure out what the hell it means. So that's great. That's my favourite thing. I love it. Hello, Philip G. Timo, greetings from Germany. Greetings from the UK. You're doing good, Laura? Excellent. That's what I love to hear. Welcome. Welcome, everybody, to Me Time Monday, part 9? Part 9. I've done 9 weeks of this. I missed one. Because I wasn't very well. So I ended up not doing it. Stormcast Eternals, Chaos and Rats. There's going to be a lot of things going on with it. I think it's going to be awesome. Afternoon, Josh. Joining in while painting up some Krieg. Love to hear it, Chris. Love to hear it. Good afternoon, Captain Mannerings. How are you? Today, guys, we're going to have a little look at Nightmare Quest. So ages ago, Games Workshop sent this to me, but they sent it to me right in the middle of a bunch of other stuff, which I was getting done. And I just didn't have the time. I also believe I was sick when I tried to do this last time, so I couldn't do it. So today, I'm going to be doing it, because we've been doing a lot of Flesh Eater Courts recently. And you guys are probably really bored of the ghouls, but I'm not, because I love them. So I'm very much enjoying painting the Flesh Eater Courts. I've done 2,000 points of them now, which is fantastic. I have probably another 1,500, possibly even 2,000 points in various boxes and stuff. So I'm going to slow down on the ghouls front. You'll be all pleased to hear. So Kataro, thank you for becoming our first new member of the day. I bet you're very excited for Skaven. Kataro was the gentleman who I painted, what's it called? Thanquol Bone Ripper for. I've got a video for that. So I'm prepared for Skaven. If we are getting Skaven, I'm prepared for Skaven. We're going to get in there. Taking a sick day is sort of me time, just not the fun kind. Well, yeah, that's true. More greetings from the UK to you, Martin. I hope you're doing well. Painting some Dominion Stormcast Vindicators in a black scheme right now. Love to hear it, below average minis. Hello, Fake Street Spirit. You legend of fluffiness and painting savant. Thank you. First things first, Nightmare Quest has this in it, which is awesome. I'm into it. I miss this from Games Workshop, these large kind of artwork inserts. I miss these. I long for them. Oh, good lord! Because they've recently just been doing the sort of the plain black Warhammer ones, which are fine, but these are cool. I love these because you can put them up on your wall. That's what I like about them. And then there's a ton of sprues. So in this box, for those of you who don't know, we have the Quest to Soulsworn. I would be doing a full unboxing for this, but there's no point. It's old. It's old news now. So we have Quest to Soulsworn, and we have another sprue of Quest to Soulsworn. And then the bit that's interesting as well, because it straddles two armies at once for me, is we have the Royal Beast Flayers. So we have more ghouls, everyone will be pleased to hear. And then you get an absolute ton of terrain. So you get this. You get a Realm Shaper engine for your thingies. Again, this is an out of production box now. They don't make this anymore. That's why I'm not too focused on it. We get some board tiles. We get a pile of bases. That's what we need. Get some Warcry cards. And we get some ability stuff and all that kind of stuff. Right, that's the thing I need. Is I need the instruction manual. So yeah, happily the Quest of Soulsworn and the Royal Beast Flares fit nicely into my plans for Age of Sigmar. And the terrain too. And that's very cool. That's very, very cool. Put a magnet on those inserts and you have a whole YouTube ad business right there. You're not wrong, Fake Street Spirits. And Tiago, thank you very much for becoming our second new member of the day. That's awesome. We're back to we had the rollover of the month where a number of gifted memberships have lapsed. So guys, if you could become a member, that would be fantastic. We once again climbing to the target of 500. And of course, need I remind you, please leave a like on the stream because it means more people will come and watch us and hang out with us today as we spend time building a pile of stuff. Here it is. Warcry Nightmare Quest. I've got the Royal Beast Flares out. There they are. There's the sprue. And we have the 2 sprues of Quest of Soulsworn, who look initially like it might be the same sprue twice. It does look like it's the same sprue twice. That's interesting. I'm not against it. Never bored with the Ghoul Boys. Well, that's what I like to hear. That's what my phone is on the floor. That's bad. Hang on, let me pick that up. Oh, we will be requiring that for activities. So, guys, I leave the choice to you. What do you want to see built today? Quest of Soulsworn or Royal Beast Flares? I'm happy with either. Greetings from the faraway land of Wales. Oh, you're not far away from me, Baradon. We almost share a border. We share a river border. I'm in Cheltenham. Just over the river from you. Which would you like to see, ladies and gentlemen? Royal Beast Flares or the Quest of Soulsworn? Or the terrain. You might want the terrain. Jack, thank you so much for the 28 months of subscribership. Getting ever closer to 3 years. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing incredible, especially if I have all these wonderful friends out there. Especially if you're going to be supporting me for 3 years. That's incredible, man. Mashup. You want Royal Soulsworn? Quest of Beast Flares? No. We cannot have those. Looks like Soulsworn. Quest of Ghouls. Yeah. So that's 1 vote for the Soulsworn, 2 votes for the Soulsworn, 3 votes for the Soulsworn, 2 votes for a blend of the 2. Simon says, do the Quest of Soulsworn. Captain Mannering says the Beastie Boys. Roll a dice since we be wargamers and all. It's not a bad shout, actually. Do I have a dice to hand? Or at least within stretching distance. Oh dear. Everything's still, yeah. Hello, Tonton. My clock dropped on the floor. Graham, hiding up all the way in the mist of Badenoch. That's awesome. I've never been. Vampires are far better. You're not wrong, Timo. This has got magnets on. I didn't know that. I need a dice. A dice. A dice. A dice. I have a dice. I have a dice. Let me grab a dice. Oh. Okay. Seeing as there's not a clear winner, we'll roll a dice. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's Beast Flares. 4, 5, 6. It's the Quest of Soulsworn. And if we build really quickly, I'll get both done. So you know that's all good. Quest of Soulsworn it is. That was a 5. Good evening, lunch break painter. So Quest of Soulsworn first. Maybe we'll do a sprue of them, and then we'll do the next. We'll do the next bit. So let's see. See what we got, shall we? Okay. So, first things first. There we go. Just checking that it's. I called toilet dice. Flush it. Sadly not. All right. So there's 3 options here on one page. Good. Good. Love to see it. 3 options there on another page for the Quest of Prime, and 3 options there on that page. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, because it's the sprue twice, and then there's 3 variants for each one. Excellent. Love to see it. Okay, so yeah, we'll build 1 sprue of the Quest of Soulsworn, and then we'll build some Royal Beast Flares. Okay, so the question I have in my mind is, can I do a Knight Relictor and the other one in 1 unit? That's what we need to figure out. So if we come on here and we go to, where are they? Hallowed Knights. Yeah. Quest of Soulsworn. One model in this unit can be a Quest of Prime. 1 model in this unit can be a Soulsworn Knight Relictor. Yeah, so you can do both. Love to see it. This is my Hallowed Knights. This is cool as well, because we got the new camera. I can show you my lists and things, so that's good. So this is the Hallowed Knights I've got planned out. Vanguard Hunters, done them. Annihilators, haven't done them. Haven't done the Quest of Soulsworn. Haven't done the Vigilors. Haven't done the Vindictors, but I have done the Judicators. Haven't done the Knight Zephyros. Haven't done the Lord Arcanum, but I have done the Lord Castellan, the Knight Judicator, and the Guard of Steel Soul. Same for Hammers of Sigmar. They're all done. Bastion, Knight Draconis, Aventus Firestrike, Stormdrake Guard, Vanquishers, Vindictors, Stormstrike Chariot, the Vigilors, and the Stormdrake Guard single. There's my Hammers of Sigmar army. And then we have our Celestial Vindicators here. Knight Arcanum, done it, done that, haven't done that, haven't done that. Done the Vindictors, haven't done the Secretors, haven't done the Vanquishers or the Secretors. Celestar Ballista, haven't done that. Deus Arcanum. Annihilator's done, Praetor's done, Evocators and Evocators. Is this your Tinder? No, this is just this is Warhammer Age of Sigmar app. So there you go. Yeah, no, I know, Jack. I wanted I want to get them both done. I want to get all 3 Storm Hosts done in time for AOS 4, if indeed that is what's happening this summer. That's awesome, Dudex. Okay, so Soulsworn Knight Relictor, you're up first. We're going to build you. So we need A1, A2, and we're right here already. So A1. I've got lots of building to do this week, guys. A1. I need to find a way to get these cables out of the way. That's something I'm learning right now. A1. Does it all look good on the camera? I'm really enjoying using these streams as tests for it. Maybe if I just hook this cable around there like that, and hook this cable down there like that, that will be better. Yes. And then I've got this microphone in the way, which I need to do something about. There we go. First two bits. Hey, Italian Spartacus. Guys, if you haven't already, please do go and subscribe to Italian Spartacus. He's an absolute gent. He's an absolute wonderful man. He's incredibly entertaining. Makes the best Baldur's Gate 3 content on the internet. Hands down. As well as all your Total War. A bunch of other stuff. He's available on Twitch and YouTube. He's also just one of the nicest, more genuine people on the internet. These are some funky bits of extra flash here. Duke City Aquariums. Hey man, first time catching live. I just wanted to tell you how much your videos have helped me out. The most recent one I did was Pallid Hand Mortarion, and he came out great. Thanks for all. Oh, you're very welcome, Duke City Aquariums. Jack, Tails this week, yeah? Indeed it is Tails this week. Tails on Wednesday. I will be putting the pack together, I think, tomorrow. So make sure you get your submissions in. Italian Spartacus. If I save all my pennies over the coming year for a trip to Adepticon next year, will you come too so we can meet and touch? Is that something you would be into? There's many reasons to go to Adepticon, but I need to create a real laundry list of them, so I can get them approved by Finance Director Josh. The Finance Director is me. Same for all my other American colleagues out there. Have you tried Tamiya extra thin for assembling? I haven't, Vicious Goose. I need to buy some. Thing is I always forget to do it. And, you know, glue lasts forever. Packs of glue last for ages. So usually I don't bother buying anything separate. I don't buy glue to stock it up. And so when it comes to trying out other brands, usually what happens is I end up going to look for them, and they're like, yeah, we can get that to you in like 10 to 15 days. And I'm like, no. I need it tomorrow. How How the hell are you meant to go on here? We'll just do a little bit there. Do that like that. Maybe that'll be enough. We'll see. Hey, yo. Right, we need A4 and A5. They're the next bits. A4 and A5. A5. So here's the question I have for you guys about the Tamiya glue. Do I have to relearn how to build, and is it more annoying? Because if I have to do that, it's not going to happen. If I have to change one thing about how I build, I'm not gonna be messing about with a new thing. If it comes with caveats on how to use it, I'm sorry guys. I'm not into it. Because I'm old and stuck in my ways. When you say I have less steps, how do I get less steps when gluing? What does that mean? You simply just dab with a tiny bit and it's done. Oh, I see what you mean. No, see that to me, I don't have the dexterous fingers to do that. So like that, I don't want to have to go. There you go. I actually need a slightly longer drying time because my fingers are, I'm not nimble. That's what the Citadel plastic glue does, Vicious Goose. Citadel plastic glue melts the two pieces together. I think most plastic glues do that, to be fair. Ow. How is it applied from that glue? Because if it's a brush applicator, I hate brush applicators. I don't get on with them. They become massively imprecise after a time. Yeah, there you go. I'm out. Brush applicator. Sorry. I can't hack it. So I tried a brush applicator glue a long time ago, and what I found ended up happening is I ended up having to get the brush to a point, and when that happens, because it was losing its precision. And then I was ending up getting plastic glue all over the place. And because I was getting plastic glue over the place, it was getting all over my fingers. And then when I was applying, when I was building the miniatures, I end up, my thumbprint ends up on all the miniatures. There's a couple of old Space Marines I've got where you've got my thumb just on it. What's it called? Extra thin cement. Guys. Guys, you're not convincing me. It's an applicator I don't like. And it costs more. Yes, you get more of it, but if it's this is my problem, right? Is if I was to move to an applicator I don't like with a product I don't like to replace a glue that I do like, and there's more of it, I've got to use it for longer with a product that I don't like, because I'm not just going to throw it. That's my issue with it. It's the same thing for paint. If someone's like, oh, you can get a contrast equivalent, but you can get 2 litres of it. It's like, great, I've got 2 litres of this red paint that I have to use. If someone wants to send me a box of it, then fine. A pot of it, then fine. But honestly, if it's in I really don't like brush applicators for glue. I've never got on with it. Like I have clumsy sausage fingers. We need A6 and A20. Good lord. Let's go with A6 first so I don't get them the wrong way around. I tried a is it Revel, maybe? Something like that once. And the thing that annoyed me about it was that it sat on its side. So it was a glue pot that didn't stand up straight like the Citadel glue ones. A18. If I had plans to do a Striking Scorpions Contrast Plus vid at some point, I've already done one, Longhorn. It's already on the internet. It is with the older Striking Scorpions, but the recipe would be the same, which is why I just haven't. I don't feel the need to do it with the same models, because I'm just like, there's nothing I would change about the recipe that's in that video. And never apologise for a Discord ping. It's all good. Then we need A21. That's this guy right here. Hey, there we go. One down already. Oh, I forgot I had... I forgot I had some white paint on my palette. Now I've got it everywhere. Great. Would you be doing live for Adepticon 2024? Big Bad Pit of Gaming? Absolutely yes. If they're going to do a reveal stream for Adepticon, then I will be here streaming along with it. Provided I'm, you know, I'm not miles away somewhere else. But yeah, no, 100%. We'll be doing a stream for that. Question for you, the Warhipster. Assuming new Skaven, would you do different clan colours? E.g., I need help with Moulder. Yeah, absolutely. So, if there is a new Skaven box and they say, here we go, and as long as they're not like keyed to a specific clan, which I doubt they would be, my plan would be to, presumably there would be something like 20 Skaven and the 20 clan rats or whatever in the box, if that's the thing that's going to happen. My plan would be to do all of them for them. I love this guy with the grand hammer. And we're going for a Quest of Prime on the next one. Which is A41 and 45. Oh, we're over here. We're over on this side now. Oh no! I dropped my knife. I find it difficult to stick with an army. I have ADHD and I tend to get excited for new products. I've decided Seraphon aren't doing it for me anymore. Is Dominion a good place to start for Stormcast? Oh yeah, absolutely it is. You get a lot of really cool models in the Dominion box. You get 10 Vindictors, 3 Annihilators, 3 God, what they called? Praetors. Get a Lord Imperator, Knight Arcanum, Knight Vexillor. It's a really good core to an army. A41, A45, A45. There you are. It's the core of my Celestial Vindicators. Now, as I was saying earlier, ideal world, I will get all 3 of my storm hosts done. But if there are new Stormcast on the way, which I suspect there will be because there's a core box on the way, then what Stormhost should I paint them as? Do they join my Hallowed Knights? Do they join my Hammers of Sigmar? Or the Celestial Vindicators? That is the question. I simply don't know. Baradon, thank you very much for the gifted membership. That is very, very kind of you. Our 3rd new member of the day, putting us on a lovely, nice round 320. So we're 180 away from 500 again. Did you see the new OBR pupper on Warcom? I have not. Let me have a look. Warhammer Community. Oh, they are doing a preview show. Okay. Wednesday, 20th of March. Oh, that's not far away. 9 days' time. They literally just posted it. Where am I seeing an Ossiarch Bone Reaper's dog? Is it in the Adepticon article? Oh my god, there's so much being cited, shown. Age of Sigmar, 40k, Warcry, Warhammer the Old World, Kill Team, Warhammer Underworlds, Horus Heresy, Necromunda. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a lovely little pupper. I'm into it. I like it. I like it. What are the blue and silver ones? Dark blue armor with silver trim. Hallowed Knights? Or Astral Templars. They were dark blue with silver trim. No, sorry, Tempest Lords. Not Astral Templars, they're a sort of mauve. But thank you very much, Baradon283, for that gifted membership. You guys are very kind. Hello, Forge Father Volcanistan. No MESPG. No, not yet. What are we on now? 42. It's another leg. That makes sense. Yeah, that reveal show is going to be big. I will be streaming it live on YouTube. So if you're not attending Adepticon and you'd like to watch the previews with me and see me either get really disappointed or get really excited, then you'll be able to do that. I will get that scheduled. It's on a Wednesday as well, so we might even just do like a bumper stream. Just go like right through from... Oh, no, that would be silly. We'll do 2 streams on Wednesday. But... I don't see enough likes, everyone, says Yamail Angmar. And I agree, guys. We need to get to that hallowed 50 and then to the 69. That whole Sigmar lied video that came up yesterday, I want to say. That was big. That was really cool. That got me excited. That got me ready. That made me just feel things, you know. I was like, yep. Lick the like button, says Baradin283, and I couldn't agree more. Lick it good. Bosh. In you go. A44. These are some very lovely cloaks, by the way. Good evening, Lord Commander Joe. Marvellous. A57 is our next port of call. How would you paint Tyranids to look like Helldivers bugs? I would probably go for... if you look up my video, how to paint Hive Fleet Gorgon, that one's pretty close. But instead of like the sort of bony finish, you could go for something a little bit more yellow. Because they've got yellow and green in them. Say hello to democracy. Should have paid the fine. Has anyone here played the Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 yet? Rebirth, I think it's called. I really want to be playing it, but I'm very busy this week. I've got way too much to do. So I won't be able to play it this week. So that might have to be an April thing for me. What? A61. Oh, you're skipping sprues now, are you? Right, I see. I get it. I understand. I mean, I don't understand. It's a weird layout for a sprue. Is what it is. Been constructing Laura Shatterpoint minis for here. What minis would you like to see most in Shatterpoint? Wookiees for me. Oh, I mean, I always want to see more Wookiees. Wookiees everywhere. Wookiees for days. And I want them all to have a special rule that lets you pull the arms off people. Wait, how the hell do you go together? That's the angle of the dangle right there. There we go, that's it. Yeah, like that. Then we need... Ugh! Oh, I've just remembered. I might be able to do this for 5 lucky people. Yeah, there we go. For 5 lucky recipients, you will get 5 gifted memberships. Congratulations. Oh, and I should do this. Boom. What do we need? We need... I don't like it when the hands are in like 3 different pieces. It feels obnoxious. It also feels unnecessary. A59, A60, and then A58. You're very welcome, guys. if you haven't already, make sure you join the Discord. Which way in do you go? That way. Yes. Oh, I missed a bit of flash. Classic Josh. Oh, Dan. So, there's a couple of ways you can do it. One, you've got access to the Discord now. So in there, in the channel that says submissions, you can drop your pictures in there. The other way to do it is to, if you go on the last episode of Tales, there'll be a Google form in the description. You can click on that link and you can submit it through the form. Or you can send me an email to therealwarhipster@gmail.com and I'll pick it up and I'll put it in. There's 3 different ways. God, these guys really are all about their lanterns, right? Dave Hall should have his own awesome tips thread. Because Dave is a legend. He's a lovely guy. Everybody in the Discord's a lovely guy. I don't think I've ever had to break up any fights in there, which is great. Says I am rude. Oh no. What did I do? Guys, I've just got Retributor armor all over my hands. Am I a Stormcast now? Do I need to highlight myself? Yeah, it is the rules now, Chris, I'm afraid. You have joined the God King service. Or you can be a custodian, whichever you prefer. A62. Where on earth is it? Oh, it's there. Oh, I see. I see. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Guys and gals. Everybody is a wonderful guy and gal in there. Do you know what was quite funny to me earlier today, and also, you know, a little bit of an indictment of our hobby, was I got sent some analytics by YouTube. So they're now making, you can now make a media kit through YouTube, which is pretty cool. And it gives you all of like the kind of, you know, a snapshot of your channel. And some might say this is because of browsing habits being different for men and women, but it's definitely not, because in Warhammer, you know, it is a very male-dominated space, which is, you know, not a great look for the hobby at times. Anyway, I was looking at it and it said, oh yeah, so your YouTube subscriber base is 92.8% male. I was like, oh, that's a damning indictment of Warhammer right there. Or it's a damning indictment of me, I don't know. I hope it's not a damning indictment of me. Okay, we need... I'm going to go with the lion, because I think it's the nicest one. A63... No, A50... A51? A51. Let's go with that one. I like that. Quest unlocked, start a fight in Discord. I have I feel like I'm in a very privileged position sometimes on YouTube, because I've very rarely had to use the ban hammer. Across any of my socials. I have had to wield it, but it's not, I've not had to use it very much, which I know is not the case for a lot of content creators. Where the hell did that just go? Oh, it's there. Um, so here's the question. Why are you not sitting flush? You're supposedly meant to sit like that. Is that better? You happier now? Yeah. Thanks to be about right to me. Um, Oh, I haven't done the head. So, good lord. A64. That's what we need. Okay. I always dislike gluing rocks to the feet. It's always an annoying part because it never sits flat. It always comes apart just like that. I just hate building miniatures. Everyone knows this by now. Building miniatures is the worst. Good evening, Mr. Warhipster and everyone. I've almost finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I was just asking if anyone had been playing that. Is it good, Ricky Colebrook? Because I loved the first one. I loved the first part of the remake. Oh, no bloody wonder it's not been sitting flat. Oh, it's a tiny little... And this is going to just ping it off the foot again. Yep. There it goes. Ugh. I hate it, guys. I really hate it. And no, that's not a reason for me to start building my own custom bases. That's even worse. There we go. Done. Rebirth is already out. Yeah, man. Yeah, came out. Came out. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago now. What do we reckon, guys? Grand Hammer, 2 blades, or Errant Quester with Grand Axe? Which one? I'm leaning towards this individual. Hammer. Yep, Dan, you and I are aligned. A22. A22. A23, wherever that is. What is it? It's another leg. It's there. The only other leg. Yeah, mini painting dad. It's on my as soon as I get like a week off, or I don't have anything to do for a week, I'm gonna be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's not looking likely until mid-April now at this point, which is a bit of a shame because it's been on my wish list for a long time. Like I said, I loved the first one. I thought it was really nice. It played quite nice. It played very well. I like what they did to the Final Fantasy VII story. I like how they expanded out certain parts, certain characters, and gave us a bit better look at the environment and the world. Really enjoyed it. So I've been really looking forward to Rebirth. And then it's just kind of dropped. It feels like it's just kind of dropped out of nowhere. But yeah, like I said, I've been really looking forward to it, and it's just dropped at like completely the worst time because I've got so much to do. That is a good point, Mini Painting Dad. Quick, everybody go and review it and say it's really terrible, so that it goes on sale. You know what else I'm just ready for now? Space Marine 2. I'm just ready for it. Also, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. Yep. I'll be losing many moons to that. I really need to get the... I really need to get the gaming channel off, don't I? So I can feel less bad about not fulfilling my duties of work. That went together very nicely. Hearing two of me, you've got Josh in stereo. I had someone comment on a video telling me that my voice was annoying and grating, which I was like, that's a new one. I've never had that before. I also, this made me really happy. Well, it made me laugh quite a lot last night. Last night, had a comment on Instagram. On my Cthulhu picture, just saying, shill. And I was like, I've made it. Nothing else. No other words, just shill. I was like, oh. And I had a good laugh about that for a little while. It's like, yes. And you know what the best thing about that comment is? It's from somebody who had set that profile up. No posts, no followers, no following. They've set that profile up to do that. So, you know, it could be somebody that I know has done it. But I was like, I've made it. I'm here now. I've arrived. Hello, Daniel Caston. Jealous because you're on the influencer program? Probably. It's because you know, people. You know, it's generally it's because people don't. People just think and then feel and then say the first thing that there is their reaction, and I get that. You know, like, it is what it is. We don't all fully investigate stuff, you know. So someone can look at me and go, "Oh, that person's got stuff for free. That's not fair. I hate you." Fine, is what it is. Nothing I can do about that. Because they can't understand why I'm getting it for free and they're not. Because they haven't spent the time to go and look at, you know, how long it took for me to get there, or what I had to do in order to get there. You know, and you don't have to. Well, I mean, you should really, if you're going to express an opinion. You should be fully informed about that opinion, but like, there's nothing I can do about it. If someone wants to be mad at me, then they're going to be mad at me, you know. So when someone is jealous or mad or upset, they're not thinking. They're not thinking about the person at the other end of the line. They're just expressing their upset for themselves. And, you know, sometimes I will message people and say, "Hey, is everything all right?" If they're being horrible to me, because, you know, there's just I don't think I do anything too offensive. You know, I make painting tutorials to try and help people learn how to paint their miniatures or get the best out of their miniatures in a style that I think is accessible and effective. That's all I do. And if someone's offended by that, then, you know, well, I've got no hope. But you just gotta kind of roll with it a little, you know. And quite often, when you have a conversation with someone like that, you just explain, so, you know, I work on painting miniatures for 12 to 16 hours a day, and I did that for 2.5 years, something like that, straight on YouTube, making videos twice a week, before Games Workshop said, "Hey, do you want to work together?" So it took me a while. It took me a while to get there. And that is my experience of it. That is what it takes to get onto the influencer program. It's not like it's not easy. It's not easy thing by any stretch of the imagination. As soon as you say to that someone, they'll either be like, "You're just lucky," and it's like, well, at that point I go, well, it's not luck, is it? Like, yeah, there's a degree of luck because you have to be able to, you know, you have to be put in a position where the person who is responsible for creating relationships with creators sees you. But I got there through consistent hard work. That's how I did it. So just, you know, busting my ass. It wasn't like I didn't post one miniature one day and that got 20,000 likes on Instagram and suddenly I'm a YouTuber. You know, that's not at all what it was. There's always anger and hatred, Scarbrand. That's just the world we live in. Gavin Kirby, good evening. Side note, I find your videos very relaxing. Thanks for the content. Oh, that's very kind of you, Gavin. I think the other side of it as well is that I think some people don't think anyone's gonna see it, because sometimes if you go, "Hey, what's up?" they suddenly panic. They're like, "Oh, did you saw that message?" I'm like, "Yep." Do you play any instruments besides guitar? Yes, I do. So I play the bass. I play a little bit of keyboard. I can play the mandolin. I can play the ukulele. I can play the drums. Um, Keyboard, I already said that. So piano, keyboard. And I can also play the trumpet as well. That's how my music career started. Music career. That's how I started learning instruments, with the trumpet. So, uh, um, I'm not sure where my trumpet is actually. I think it's in that cupboard over there. Any advice for a colour that would look good with steel for my Votan army? I will likely dry brush the steel after it's washed with Grey Knight steel to give it a mithril feel to it. Blue works really well with steel. Black also. Green works really well with a steel colour. Like a sort of like a mid green. Purple can work. Red can work, but it doesn't look as punchy or effective for some reason. It's probably something to do with color theory. Yeah, those would all work. Okay, here we go. It's going to be one of those annoying double-hander things that doesn't quite match up in one of the hands. A39. Yeah. Mambo number 5, yeah? Yeah. I used to play in wow. I played a couple of times with the school swing band. I didn't like it though. So I used to do orchestra more than I did the swing band. When I was at uni, I had a very brief stint with a Scar outfit, playing the trumpet. Very brief. Didn't do it for very long. I basically sat in as a musician, as a session musician, basically. Where are we? Oh, we're there. A33. Bosh. Triangle, trombone. No, I never did get on with the trombone. I could play one. I mean, it's functionally the same. It's just your embouchure has to be a little bit different. And the location of notes is the hardest part with the trombone. With the trumpet, you've got the 3 valves with which you and it's just a combination of tightening your embouchure. So da 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 is the C to C. Well, it'd be this hand. Da 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 da. thing I used to enjoy the most was messing about with trumpet mutes. Doing the but quite often when you play the trumpet, you mostly just get asked if you're going to blow the last post on Remembrance Day, and that's quite sombering, and you know, very embarrassing if you get it wrong. However, I did always do enjoy playing Wallace and Gromit. There you go. We've done a whole sprue of the quest to Soulsworn. As promised. Where are we at to? We're at 7:05. Let's have a quick look at these beast flyers. Decided to dip my toes into AOS with the Dominion box, and I tracked down the Cruel Boys Christmas Battle Force. Absolutely fantastic. They have tutorials for almost the entire range. Thank you, Stephen. We've actually got more stuff coming for the Cruel Boys. I'm going to be painting one of those up pretty soon, probably next week. I'm going to be doing the Breaker boss on Maya Brute Troggoth, I think it's called. I'm painting that one up. Oh, these are quite involved. There's a lot of pages of terrain here. Yeah. Good evening, Dave. How you doing, buddy? Might just pop onto Facecam for half an hour and have a little chat, guys. I built 3 models. I was on holiday this weekend, so this is kind of my first day back working all day. So I was doing some painting earlier. Trying to finish some Shining Spears. Dave, earlier on people were asking for you to have your own tips channel in the Discord because you're so useful. And I didn't want to commit either way in case you felt pressured. But if that's something you want, we can do that. So yeah, I've got to finish these guys. So we've got 6 of them to do. And I'm not far from the end, to be honest. I've got to relayer the white on 3 of them. And then I've got black, silver, turquoise. Actually, I've got quite a lot more to do on them. Ugh. Got to do all the white highlights as well. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. These quests to Soulsworn are really nice models. They're very nice. So yeah, today has been me getting back in the swing of things. Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you very much for the bombardment. That's very kind of you. Can I post a link on this chat? Probably not. YouTube probably won't let you. What do you want me to go and look at? It takes us £2 closer to the new PC. I was playing in a tournament at our local Element Games yesterday and had a great time. Came second out of 8. Oh, that's sick, Dave. AOS? Surely AOS. So I played, posted it in general Discord. Yeah, you can definitely post them in there. No, don't switch to that. How to bring some colour to the somber paladin. Oh yeah. It's an alternate Usheran. Has that just... Yeah, it has. Go away. Don't know why I opened it there. Excited for new Kroot? I am excited for it, actually. Hey, Ash. No, well done. Well done, Dave. I played 40k last week. I played 3 games of it. How would you do the back mantle skin flesh on that thing? What, in that? You'd probably want to paint it like... Let's see what they say in here. The royal mantle simple, drawing from the inspiration, gave the flesh trim a more vivid look. That's not very useful, is it? How did you paint the miniature? I painted it with colours. Good. Good. That's very, very, very informative. I mean, it looks like you could go for something like layering like over white, for example. You could put like Gilliman flesh over it, and then go for like Caribou Crimson or something, and just kind of gently layer it up and add it in over the top of that to get that sort of pinky flesh. And then you'd want to highlight it with flayed one flesh and stuff like that. Would probably be how I did that. Would get that same thing. You'd want that kind of really pinky skin element. So you'd start with skin, and then you want to add the pink in, which is why Caribou Crimson is probably the ideal thing to do for that. Rich, last live I saw with you was the airbrush experiment. How's it going with that? I haven't touched it since then, Rich. Haven't touched the airbrush since. Still have it. Just haven't touched it. Always been a 40k player, and peering into AOS for the first time. The fantasy range is such unique and beautiful models. I finally understand what you guys have been preaching. Well, there you go, Stephen. Yeah, I mean, the model range is just fantastic. If you like building and painting models, if that's the main aspect of the hobby, then you should go where the best models are, and the best models are in AOS currently, as opposed to 40k. Just looking at them, they're the best models. The way they look, the aesthetic that they go for, and just like the craziness. Just wanted to ask you where you put your mixes of contrast colors and contrast medium into. I don't have a wet palette, Chris. I never use a wet palette. I use a dry palette. I have a piece of palette paper is what I use. I don't use a wet palette because a wet palette will add too much. Basically, a wet palette can destroy your contrast paints. It separates the pigments too much, and then you run into issues with it. So I use a dry palette paper. Is painting AOS vehicles different to painting armies? What do you mean, New Doc Prime? I love the AOS models, but I find the game not as fun. So many mortal wounds. I love them. I love the game. I think it flows really well. I love it. I love the simplicity in some places and the slight more complexity in other places. Like, it is a game that is a melee game first and foremost, and I feel like the game is set for this. The game is set up to make melee a much more satisfying part of the game. There might be a few too many mortal wounds in the game. Sure, I would agree with that. But I think the problem with mortal wounds is they're there to represent how powerful certain things can be, and they do that because rend isn't as prevalent in AOS. Like, a -1 is the standard, right? Usually, but you very rarely, unlike unlike sort of 9th edition Warhammer 40k at least, -2 and 3 and 4 was very. I mean, there's barely any -4 in the game. I think there's 1 or 2 things that have it. Because it is a combat-focused game, I think it's just much more key towards that. That's why there's too many mortal wounds, because to represent the power. Because I think if they put more rend in, then it becomes too easy to click and point those things. Though the amount of mortal wounds could be toned down in AOS. And painting one of the Overlord's airships. Never done any vehicles. Oh, I see. So yeah, I think AOS vehicles and large models generally tend to be more detailed than the 40k ones. If you compare, like, the older tanks, we haven't seen many newer tanks. We've had, like, things like the Rogel Dawn and stuff, and the Space Marines have had some new tanks, but we haven't seen many new vehicles. So the difference between, like, Caradron Overlords stuff and, say, like the Drakari range, for example, it's much newer, so there's a lot more detail on there. That actually makes them easier to paint with contrast paint, because whilst you do have those open panels and stuff, you've got a lot more detail and, like, recesses and things like that for the contrast paint to run into. So in many ways, they are actually much easier to divide up in your mind as you're painting them. When you look at something like a Land Raider, there's loads of just open panels all over it. The Land Raider is obviously the best vehicle ever made. But when you compare something like a Land Raider to a Archanaut frigate, there's much more going on there. So it's easier I think, with the bigger models with Age of Sigmar to kind of make them more piecemeal. So even like something like Usharan, he hasn't got, like, large open space. There's not too many large open spaces other than his cloak. And his cloak has got so many recesses in it that actually it folds up really nicely. It's a lot easier to paint than I suspected it would be at the time. Good evening, Chewy. I've done a couple of AOS games on TTS to try it out, and one of the things that I do like is that the army actually feels thematic, like it should do. Yeah. I think Old World goes a step further and feels even more thematic, which is great. Yeah, I'm with you there, Niall. I think models coming back and book battle tactics are the only really standout things at the moment, from what I hear for AOS. Yeah, battle tactics are I think they're either you either like them or you don't like them. I love the idea of them, so I like that basically pick a secondary that you have to achieve that turn from a list of 5, and then you have to go and implement it. Unfortunately, when you then have book-based ones across 20, 30 books, it becomes really hard to, one, do unique things and also have them all mostly balanced. Because if everybody has one which is moving, this is the problem I have with 40k right at the moment, is that all the secondaries are the same. And therefore, because they're all the same, it means some armies find them easier to achieve. So there are aspects of 40k's secondaries in the Maelstrom deck where there are armies that don't actually have to interact with killing you. This happened in 9th edition as well. They don't have to actually interact with killing you or interact with your army. They just go about their business doing the thing that they've just drawn. So, like, we need to send 4 units to 4 different corners of the board. And so there are armies that are much easier, find that a much easier time than others. And I don't like that aspect of the game. What I would prefer to see is the battle tactics system stay in place, but what actually happens with those and what they actually are to be rewritten and relooked at. Because I think they need to be. I think they need to be more interactive with your opponent for the game to be fun. You know, so things like, you know, nominate a unit of yours and it has to charge into combat and survive, something like that. That would be one that would be cool. Question: with the Oathbreaker box coming out, do you have a formula for half orc flesh so that I can use them for D&D 2? What's the Oathbreaker box, Daniel? Hello, Curtis Builds. There was a question there. Stephen Robinson, what's your favourite Tyrannid model? I'm painting them now. Just done the Barb Gaunts. Tyrannid model. I don't really like Tyrannids as a thing, and that's not that I don't like the models. I don't think the models are alien enough for me. A lot of them are just bipedal aliens, which, you know, a lot of people really like Tyrannids, and I don't hate them. They're just not really my favourite. I think my favourite is probably. I think probably the Parasite of Mortrex is my favourite. I really like that one. It felt really Tyrannidy and really alien to me. So I really liked that. I really like the Parasite. Yeah, Parasite of Mortrex is probably my favourite Tyrannid model. Indrasta is one of the proudest moments I've had in painting since I started again last year. Nearly everyone was like, how did you paint that? How did you paint it, Niall? I prefer 9th and 10th. I prefer 8th. That's me personally. I prefer 8th edition of the 3. I don't like the scoring points that don't mean you interact with your opponent. And 9th edition was really guilty of that as well, particularly some factions. I think Sisters were most guilty of it, of score 15 points right away just for standing behind some L-shaped ruins. And I think one of the things I found interesting about, so I played some 40k, and we didn't play really with any ruins. Not really. What we played with was a lot of enclosed buildings and hills, which meant that you had large line of sight blocking pieces, but you didn't have stuff that people could go in and still be out of sight and capture objectives and not interact with the army. You had to move around, and you had to set up covering fire, and you had to create gambits in your head of, well, if I move this here and kill that, and then it sets up this firing lane where the rest of the army has to come through, or they have to go all the way around, and they're not going to do that because that'll take too long for them to get there, etc., etc. I really liked that as a way of playing 40k. What I don't like is anything in the game that is nothing to do with your opponent. So I always, one of the things I often joke about is I like 3 secondaries of Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood, because all 3 of those require you to interact with your opponent. Because you have to go into your opponent's territory, you have to kill your opponent's Warlord, and you have to kill an opponent's unit. I like them. I'm not saying we go back to that, although I would love it if we did. But I think secondaries as a whole in both games need to be more interactive with your opponent's army. So that you have to make more strategic choices, would be what I would say. Have you done any Daughters of Cain, Sisters of Slaughter, or Witch Elves on a video? No, but I did do the High Gladiatrix, which is close. I do need to get to that. The new Slaves to Darkness. Oh, the Dark Oath stuff. Right, yes. Do you have a formula for half orc flesh so that I can use them for D&D 2? Well, so like a green? Or like a more towards a red? Would you ever consider doing a game type stream or how you like to play? That is something I have been interested in doing. We don't really have the space in my house to be able to stream a game. So I'd have to do it out in the shed, and our Wi-Fi network doesn't extend that far, so I'd need to get some sort of mesh to get us out there in order to stream it, and also decant my entire setup out there, which is a lot of work to do. I think AOS could benefit from a card system like 10th. I find often you can pick a battle tactic that you know you'll succeed 100%, so a random system would spice it up. I'm not against that, Lord Inquisitor. It just has to be a lot more narrative focused than the 40k deck is. The 40k deck, I don't like it. I don't like the deck. I don't like the way it's scored. It's very by the numbers. It's very mathematical. It's very, especially when like you have secondaries in it that are like, hey, stand in 3 or 4 quarters. I hate that as an objective. I hate it. I think that's such a stupid tactic. I hate it. I really don't like it. And anything that sends you to a corner or anything like that, no, get it out of my game. I don't like it. Because it's like, because people then build their armies to do it. So they have these super zippy things that have no other place in the unit, in the army, other than to just go one over there, one over there, one over there, one over there. And then everyone gets mad when those things gain like 20 points per model. Because all they're being used for is to disappear into a table quarter. It's like, ugh. I intensely dislike it as a tactic, as a thing to do. Have stuff like Biovore and Nurgling cheese. Yeah, exactly, Lord Inquisitor. I don't like it as an option for your armies. I also don't like actions. I really don't like actions. Because again, same thing. People pick units to not interact with the opponent. All they're going to do is walk over here and not shoot, not charge, not fight. They're going to stand there and deploy a teleport homer. It's like, okay, it's called something fluffy, but the actual mechanics of it are nothing to do with the game. Yeah. So, and Dave says it there. There are similar secondaries in AOS that aren't interactive, and I don't like them either, though they are the easiest to score. Yeah. So, here's the question for you guys. Do you think you can be considered a great tactician if you can win your games before you even play the game? Like you shouldn't be able to win your matchup in the list building phase. Which is dumb. So it's like Adam said to me, you should take the Calidus Assassin. Because the Calidus Assassin doesn't do anything. The Calidus Assassin does not interact with the enemy at any point. What the Calidus Assassin does is one, makes one of your opponent's stratagems that they're going to do every turn more expensive by an extra CP. Fine. And then the rest of the game, what they do is they pop into corners or go and do an action. Right? So you put that in there. So you go, okay, cool. So that's an advantage I have as an Imperial player. Great. And then what else do we choose? What else do we build for? You know, defeats the point of rolling the dice, doesn't it? Yeah, DL. And I don't like any mechanics in the game that don't mean you roll dice or compete with your opponent for it. Like I said, I think there is a way, and I'm not saying that I have the answer because I don't, because I'm not a rules writer. But I think there is a way to write a set of secondaries that are 95% about interacting with your opponent. Like I think there should be secondaries in there that are about charging into combat. Score 5 points, or score an amount of points for each unit that charges to a maximum of 8, or whatever. You score 2, blah 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 blah. There you go. You now have to interact. It's not for killing your opponent, because those ones are always like, kill an enemy unit. It's like, all right, cool. Do that with a gun. I'll just overkill something, which is interactive with the opponent, fine. But there's mechanics within the game that are, not being utilized for scoring. But the art of balancing the game well is to give a faction some good and some bad traits. Yes. Yeah, 100%. That's how you put more flavor into the game. And then the skill with that army is to be able to win in spite of that weakness. To utilize your strengths to leverage points against your opponent. It's a tricky one. It's difficult. Yeah, I think the games should be more interactive with your opponent, basically, and that's true of both. It's especially true of 40k. Unfortunately, sometimes you can just spam the best units. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to eliminate that entirely from the game. Not until every faction has enough stuff in it to be able to build a army out that is equally powered regardless of what you take in it. You see what I mean? You know, there's always going to be ways to leverage the power of your book in a different way. I feel like AOS does a slightly better job of it than, well, definitely than 10th edition 40k does at the moment. Because in 10th edition 40k, there's no limit at all. There's no restrictions. The only thing you have to do is make sure you have one character and you can't take more than 3 of something. But that's often, you know, the best stuff in your book should be pointed appropriately. And so if that is the case, if your core of your army is 3 of the best thing in the book, so like Custodian Wardens, for example. If you take 3 units of Custodian Wardens, or 5, that's 250 points per 5. So 750 points is spent on Wardens. You're probably going to give each of them a character, Trajan Valoris and 2 captains, or Trajan Valoris, a Blade Champion, and a captain. You're already staring down the barrel of 1,100, 1,200 points. You've got 800 points left. What are you going to do with it? The Custodians are very good. I think they're very, very good. And the only way they really work is by interacting with the opponent. They can't afford to just sort of stand around. So I really enjoyed them playing with them as a combat army. They're probably the best combat army currently, which is why I really like playing the game with combat armies, because to me it's the most kind of it's the most challenging aspect of the game, and if you can get it right, it comes off so brilliantly. It's wonderful, especially in 40k, which is why I chose Custodians. But I then also had a tank in it for some shooting, which I was very alien about. Didn't understand that. I spent the entire 9th edition playing Chaos Demons. You don't have any guns, or at least not anything that's longer than 12 inches. So you know, it is what it is. Anyway, guys, it is now 25 to 8, which means our time of Me Time Monday has come to a conclusion. We are done. We built 3 quests to Soulsworn, and then, you know, because I'm getting back into the swing of things, I got tired and I didn't want to build anymore. So, I've got a lot more to build this week, so I can't push it too much today. How are we doing for subscribers? It's been really slow the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. There we go. 59,270. We are on the road now to 60. We are a measly 730 subscribers away from 60,000 subscribers, which is incredible. But we are 40,730 subscribers away from my dream being made. It's a long way to go. Got a lot of the year left. So tell your friends. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends to subscribe. And make sure your friends tell their friends to subscribe as well. That would be very nice. But on that note, guys, it's time to end. So thank you very much to... Let's go to the viewer activity. Kataro for becoming a member. Tiago for becoming a member. Jack Mikesell. I think that's how I say your name. Sorry, Jack. I'm always petrified of your surname. For the 28 months of membership. Baradon for the gifted. And Big Bad Peter Gaming for the 2. That's very kind of you. Thank you on this marvellous Monday, the 11th of March. We will be back on Wednesday with the Tale of Many Warhipsters. Chapter 8 now? Let's just quickly look that up. Because I don't want to get that wrong. Tale of Many Warhipsters, where are they? Yeah, episode 8. Tale of Many Warhipsters, chapter 8. We will be back on Wednesday. We will be back with a painting video on Thursday. I haven't decided what it will be yet. But we will then also be back on Saturday with another video. And here's Adam. He'll be ready for Tales. He's going to be here on Wednesday. He's promised me that he'll be here on Wednesday. So yeah, back on Wednesday for Tales, painting video on Thursday, and then we've got more videos coming from Saturday onwards, which I obviously can't tell you about. Here is a farewell hand. The farewell hand of goodbye. Thank you very much for hanging out with me this Me Time Monday. Farewell, have a good evening, guys, and have a great rest of your week if I don't see you before then. Bye for now. Bye. Love you. Bye now. Bye for now. Bye. 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 Bye for now. Bye. Love you.